Welcome, everyone, to Talk Now. I'm Andrew, your host.
And I'm Sophia, your co-host.
This is the podcast where we dive deep into the topics that matter most to the young generation today. Whether it's about life choices, career paths, relationships, or navigating the challenges of growing up in today's world. We're here to share insights, have honest discussions, and offer advice to help you make informed decisions. If you're trying to figure out your path or just curious about how others are tackling similar challenges, you're in the right place.
Exactly. Whether you're a student, a recent graduate, or just someone grappling with life's big questions, Talk Now is your go-to podcast for real conversations and fresh perspectives.
And today's episode is no different. We're diving into a topic that resonates with so many young people. Should you be ambitious and chase your big dreams? Or should you focus on being content with where you are right now?
It's a tricky balance, but we've got some great perspectives to share today. Let's get started.
We have two incredible guests today, and we're excited to get into this discussion. Emily is an entrepreneur who's always thinking ahead and building her business. And Jack is a mindfulness coach who helps people find peace by focusing on the present moment. Welcome, Emily and Jack. We can't wait to hear your perspectives on this very relevant topic.
Yes, welcome. This is a conversation that really speaks to the struggles of today's young generation. Emily, you've built your own business from the ground up. How do you think ambition influences your happiness?
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. For me, ambition is a huge part of who I am. I find that when I'm working towards something big, I feel more energized and fulfilled. Achieving milestones in my business, even small ones, makes me feel like I'm progressing. Ambition keeps me focused, and it gives me a sense of purpose. Without it, I wouldn't be as motivated, and I think I'd feel stuck. So, for me, happiness really comes from pushing forward and achieving what I set out to do.
That's really interesting, Emily. You're clearly someone who thrives on having big goals. But Jack, what do you think about that? You're all about mindfulness and being present. Does that mean you think ambition might actually get in the way of happiness?
I see where Emily's coming from, and I totally get the excitement of achieving big things. But my approach is a little different. While ambition can push us forward, it often comes with the mindset of I'll be happy once I achieve XYZ. But I believe happiness isn't something that's tied to future achievements. It's found right in the present moment. Too often, we get caught up in the hustle, thinking we need to reach certain milestones before we can be content. But if we're always focusing on what's next, we miss out on appreciating what we already have.
But Jack, don't you think some level of ambition is necessary? I mean, if we're constantly focused on being happy with what we have right now, wouldn't we risk becoming stagnant, especially as young people? Wouldn't we lose that drive to keep improving and reaching for bigger goals?
That's a great point, Sophia. And I'm not saying ambition is bad at all. It can actually be a powerful tool for growth. The issue comes when our happiness is completely tied to those future goals. If you're constantly chasing the next thing, whether it's a job, a relationship, or an achievement, it becomes easy to feel like you're never quite there. The key is balance. Yes, go after your goals, but take time to appreciate where you are now. Learn to be content with the present moment while still striving for the future.
I can understand that, Jack. But I feel like if you're too focused on contentment and the present moment, you might miss out on pushing yourself to be better. Sometimes, achieving things requires sacrifice and discomfort. You have to be willing to push through challenges. If I only focused on feeling good about where I am now, I think I'd lose the drive to grow. We have to be uncomfortable sometimes to achieve what we want.
It sounds like both of you see the value in different approaches. Emily, you're saying that ambition can drive growth, even if it means pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. Jack, you're emphasizing the importance of being mindful and enjoying the process instead of just focusing on what's ahead. But how do you both find that middle ground? How do you balance ambition with contentment without going too far to one side?
It's all about self-awareness, Andrew. When you're working towards something, ask yourself, am I enjoying the journey? If you find yourself constantly feeling stressed or unhappy, maybe it's time to step back and appreciate the progress you've made so far. Contentment doesn't mean you're giving up on your dreams. It just means you're not letting your happiness depend on hitting every single goal.
I agree with that, Jack. I think the balance comes when you're able to celebrate the small wins along the way, not just the big ones. And yes, there's going to be discomfort as you push toward your goals. But that doesn't mean you can't appreciate the learning process. I've learned to pause sometimes and take a moment to appreciate how far I've come, even if I'm not where I want to be yet.
So it's about enjoying the little victories along the way, even if the big dream is still ahead of you?
Exactly. It's about finding satisfaction in the journey, not just the destination. But the key is also knowing that the journey requires effort. There's no easy way to get where you want to go. I think young people today get a lot of pressure to enjoy the moment, but sometimes success requires hard work and sacrifices.
And I think that's where the danger lies, Emily. If you focus only on achieving, you might lose track of why you're doing it in the first place. Happiness isn't just about reaching the next milestone. It's about being present, finding peace in what you're doing, and learning to enjoy the work you put in, rather than just focusing on the reward.
That's such a crucial distinction, Jack. Emily, it seems like you're saying that the key is to find joy in both the work and the rewards, right? But Jack, what about when things don't go according to plan? How can young people find contentment when they're facing setbacks or challenges?
Great question. The key here is acceptance. Setbacks are part of life, and they can actually be opportunities for growth. If we learn to accept challenges without seeing them as failures, we can still find peace in the moment. Instead of thinking, "I'm not where I want to be," we can say, "This is a part of the process. I'm learning, I'm growing." It's all about your mindset.
I agree, setbacks are part of the journey. And I think the more we experience those moments of failure, the more we realize that success isn't always linear. But you can't let setbacks stop you, you have to use them to fuel your ambition and keep going.
It seems like finding that balance is an ongoing process. Both ambition and contentment have their place, but it's about knowing when to lean into each one. Thank you both so much for sharing your perspectives. It's been such an enlightening conversation. Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, Andrew, during the show we heard the phrase, "I'll be happy once I achieve XYZ." I was thinking some of our listeners might not fully understand what that means.
That's a great point, Sophia. It's such a common mindset, especially for young people. It essentially means postponing happiness until you've reached a specific goal, like landing your dream job, buying a house, or achieving something big in life. But sometimes, constantly chasing that XYZ can leave you feeling unfulfilled in the present.
Exactly, and it ties perfectly to today's topic about balancing ambition and contentment. Maybe now's a good time to break down some of the other keywords and phrases we mentioned in the conversation.
Absolutely. Let's dive into the key words and phrases so everyone can fully grasp their meanings and use them confidently.
Now let's take a moment to break down some of the key phrases from today's conversation. These are not just words. They're tools to help you express yourself more naturally in English.
That's right, Sophia. And if you want to dive even deeper, don't forget that you can find all the phrases from this episode in the full PDF transcript. But for now, let's focus on 5 highlights.
1. I'll be happy once I achieve XYZ. Means, this phrase represents the mindset that happiness is tied to achieving a specific goal, represented as XYZ, often delaying happiness to a future time.
For example, I used to think, I'll be happy once I achieve a promotion, but now I realize happiness comes from the little things too. 2. Celebrate small wins. This means recognizing and appreciating small achievements along the way, instead of waiting for big milestones.
For example, finishing my first draft felt amazing, so I treated myself to coffee to celebrate the small win. 3. Pushing forward and pushing through. Meaning, pushing forward means continuing to progress or strive for improvement. Pushing through means persevering despite obstacles or difficulties.
For example, even when her first business failed, Emily kept pushing forward to start again. It wasn't easy, but I pushed through the challenges and came out stronger. 4. Fuel your ambition. Means, to find motivation or inspiration to drive your desire to achieve something.
For example, reading about successful entrepreneurs always fuels my ambition to keep working hard. 5. Enjoy the journey. means this phrase emphasizes appreciating the process of working toward a goal, not just focusing on the end result.
For example, it's easy to get caught up in results, but don't forget to enjoy the journey along the way.
These phrases are such a great reflection of today's topic, Andrew. They really highlight the balance between ambition and contentment.
Absolutely. And remember, listeners, there are even more phrases from this episode waiting for you in the PDF transcript, like self-awareness, setbacks, and linear success. So be sure to check that out. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today's discussion has shown us that both ambition and contentment are essential ingredients for a fulfilling life. Finding the balance is an ongoing journey, but it's one worth taking.
Absolutely. We hope this conversation has sparked some thoughts about how you can align your ambitions with a sense of gratitude for the present moment.
If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on more engaging and thought-provoking discussions.
And don't forget, your journey is unique. Embrace it. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time on Talk Now.